So, in caring for creation, how can we act to care for the planet and its peoples with regard to energy and energy generation? One of our church family with a particular interest in this is Catherine Ann. Due to lockdowns, it's been a while since we've seen her, but she's been as busy as ever. Catherine Ann, welcome. Please, can you tell us what you do? Is your work merely a way of paying the bills? Or do you feel, as a Christian, that it's something worthwhile that you're doing?
Hi everyone. As some of you might know already, I work for a company that makes wind turbine blades. I'm an engineer and a project manager who is responsible for their lightning protection systems. So I make sure that the blades don't break and the turbine keeps running if they happen to be struck by lightning. What that means on a day-to-day basis is I spend a lot of time talking to designers and experts in lightning systems and in lightning protection generally, and also with manufacturing experts, and we come up with new designs and put them into operation and into production in factories. I also spend quite a lot of time talking to new customers, telling them how our systems work and why they're safe. I think when I started out in renewable energy that it was definitely just a job, something that paid the bills, nothing too special. Having then moved around a little bit, worked in different industries, in the marine industry, in architecture, and in automotive, I found that I really wanted to do something that made a difference. Making buildings look great and coming up with novel designs for those was amazing. Making cars go faster, love fast cars. But actually, I wanted to do something that made the world a better place. Essentially, if that's not too grand a dream. So I decided I wanted to go back into renewable energy. So, what does that mean for me as a Christian? I believe that God has placed us in this amazing world and we should look after that. Renewable energy is just a really small part of that, making sure that we're using our limited resources wisely in a more sustainable way, and limiting the impact of climate change, which hits the world's poorest people at worst. For me at work, that means making renewable energy and wind energy in particular more reliable, more efficient, and cheaper so that it's used more and more in place of more polluting options. I think that God gives everyone some skills and passion for things that they're good at. For me, that's always been science and maths, which I know is a bit of a strange one for most people. I want to use those skills to the best of my ability and in a way that benefits people. I'm lucky that I get to do that every day at work. I'm not always happy at work. I'm not always the cheery person in the room. It can be quite stressful. But on a bigger scale, I think I am really grateful that I get to use the skills that God's given me to improve the way of life for people and also to just benefit the environment and everyone that lives in it.
Thank you, Catherine Ann. And, developing these technologies, particularly for small scale renewable projects, is so important in the developing world, in poor, remote communities that are not on the national grid systems. In fact, the United Nations regards energy as the golden thread in development because of the impact that having power has on people's lives. Listen to the director, Priya, of a remote medical centre in Nepal, where some solar panels were installed. She says there's a brightness. There are no dark corners. Everything can be seen. It makes life easier and happier. Because when women give birth in the night, the health workers no longer have to use torches to see their patients. There's hot water to sterilise the medical equipment. Medications and vaccines can be refrigerated and stored safely.